Hey everybody, Tia Torres again with yet another video from my Convicts Anonymous platform, and also to apologize for the once again grainy video. Gonna have to put up with it until I get a new laptop because the newly repaired one, brand new, ain't working for poo poo. All right, so today we're gonna talk about the biggest scam of all from the prison system, from an inmate, and it's not what you think. It's not money. Mm-mm. Nope. It is scamming your heart. Right here. Heartbreak. That's the one that gets everybody. That's the one that you can't, like, if they scam you for money, you can make that money back. But breaking your heart, that's a tough one to repair, boy. And it does happen. Now, that being said, in the defense of inmates in prison who are looking for true love or true friendship, the same thing can happen out here in the free world. It can happen if you go on Match.com or if you're on The Bachelorette. It can happen. So I'm not just saying that inmates do it, but it does happen. So let's talk about this, okay? And I'm going to talk about some signs, some things to look for, things that in some of my relationships where I got scammed, and the things that happened to me where I knew I was not getting scammed, okay? So let's go straight to the money thing, okay? Because that's what everybody talks about, the money. This is going to sound really funny or really weird. Let's say you're involved, you're comfortable, you're talking all the time, you're writing letters. I'm not going to get into the visiting thing yet. That's going to be a whole nother string of podcasts. But let's say, because this happened to me, that all of a sudden they're not asking you for as much money as they used to. Yeah, that happened to me with a man I was married to for years. And all of a sudden, he just stopped needing money. I'm like, wait, how are you surviving in there? Oh, I have my ways. It's okay. Now, of course, I took it as, oh, that's so nice. He's trying to save me money. What a nice guy. Yeah, asswipe. Um, and then after a while, it started up again, where he was asking me for money again, and a lot. A lot. And I'm like, what is going on? In his particular case, AJ, I found out that he had found somebody else behind my back and was getting money from them. Now, why he stopped getting money from me, I don't know. If I were him, I probably would have scammed us both at the same time. But he was getting money from her. And then maybe, who knows, maybe she stopped giving him money and then he started asking me for money again. I don't know. I never found out the truth. But it's just an interesting observation. Okay? I'm not saying it's making them guilty of anything, but it definitely played a part into something that would ultimately happen to me. And AJ was convict ex-husband number 4. He was my final one. And I've been married to him for years, knew him out here in the free world, in prison. So never, ever, ever, ever would have thought he would have done that to me. There is a theory that something was going on in prison, like maybe, I don't know. Maybe, I don't know. I'm not going to say. Because if I say something, that sucker's able to sue me, because that's how he is now. But I think something was going on where he needed the money really bad. If you could read between the lines. Okay. Another thing that oh my God, this is a big one. And I tell this to women. Actually to anybody who's visiting somebody in prison. Okay. And now we are getting into the visiting part, but also it doesn't necessarily have to be visiting. But if your person in prison starts asking you to do favors that are not quite on the up and up. And I don't mean they necessarily have to be technically illegal, but where you're like, yeah, I don't feel comfortable with that. Something as simple as, hey, I need you to make a phone call. Can you call this person and do a three-way call for me, or talk to this person and give them this message? And you're like, wait, what does that message even mean? Like, no, don't do it. Okay, don't do it. Just, I mean, I want to say until you really get to know that person, but still beware, because you don't know what that message that you're relaying is, what it really means. As far as asking you to do favors such as, and I'm going to give you an example and a story. Um, it could be something as simple as, hey, I need a new pair of tennis shoes. I need you to wear a new pair in, and we're going to swap. When you come to visit. Okay, it's not that it's shoes, but still, it's something you could actually get in trouble for, and they could stop your visits. And then they embarrass you in front of everybody in the visiting room, and I've seen it happen. You know, so I'm going to tell you this story. I'm going to be as discreet as I can. Um, I know somebody very well who got remarried, and his new wife was not privy to the prison system. She actually had a very prestigious job within the school district, very prestigious, very very prestigious school district she worked in. And this person I know made an arrangement with her to smuggle in marijuana, weed, into the prison. Now, according to him, she was all about it too, because she was getting paid to do it. She needed the extra money. I don't know if that's true. It's beside the point. She still did it. Okay. Worked for a while until it didn't. And then they got caught. Now, no skin off his ass. He's already in prison. She, on the other hand, got arrested, handcuffed in the visiting room. I mean, how embarrassing in front of all those people. Oh my God, I would have died. Lost her job. Mm-hmm. But the point is, if your person in prison really cared about you, they never would have asked you to do something like that. And when this person told me the story, I said, if you had ever asked me to do that, I would have beat your ass. And he says, I would never have asked you to do that, because I care about you and respect you too much. And I'm like, wow. Like, what does that say? Like, you had her do that. Because I won't say which ex-husband it is, okay? But I was never asked to do that stuff. I mean, I would have done it anyway. It was a F you. I would like to drop a few F bombs, but in case this goes on YouTube, I don't want them to block me. Yeah, like, no. And not because like, oh, it's because how dare you? Like, I come all the way here to visit you. You're going to ask me to do this crap? Screw you, dude. So disrespectful, but it's a huge red flag. Come on, they're asking you to risk your own freedom. So if you are asked, I'm telling you this with everything I have in me. If you are asked by your loved one or your person in prison to do stuff like this, huge red flag. They do not respect you. They don't truly care about you. I don't care what they tell you. Mm-mm. Think about this. If you were the one in prison, would you ask your child to smuggle in something for you? As a mother, would you do that? Hell no. Okay? Because you care about your child. You don't want your child to get in trouble. So if your person in prison is asking you to do this, they don't really care about you. Sorry. And if I'm hurting somebody's feelings who's watching this because they've done it or they do it, better, I don't know. For me, rethink the relationship. Mm-hmm. That's a big one for me because I've seen it happen. Um, I saw it happen with another couple that I got to know very well when I was going to Florida to visit my ex Tony. And there was another couple who she used to smuggle in. It was money. It was, like dollar bills and $10 bills and whatever. I guess because paper money was worth a lot in there. So it wasn't like drugs, but still, like she could have got arrested. And then the thing is this: they cut off your visits, phone calls, everything. Like you are cut off for God knows how long. But how humiliating. And how, again, I'm going to keep saying the word, how disrespectful to you as the person who's been paying for the phone, paying for the commissary, spending your gas, spending your time coming to see them. It's like a slap upside the head, like spitting in my face. Like, no. So that's a big one for me. Okay. Asking you to do something that's shady. Another thing to not so much be aware of, but just kind of make a note of it is it's very common for someone in prison to get jealous because they feel very insecure. They can't see what you're doing, where you're going, who you're talking to, and acting jealous, you know, over anything. Now, for someone who maybe has been without someone to love in a while or not, but some people find that attractive. Oh, he cares about me. She cares about me. It can also be a secret weapon, meaning they don't really care about you, but they want to make you think they do. So they're going to act like they're jealous. Yeah. So just something to watch out for. It could be just a ploy. And first of all, screw them. They got nothing to be jealous about. It's like, you're in prison. We're out here. Deal with it. Okay. um, Now, in my relationship with Tony, he did make me feel very secure as far as trust. Right away, he told me things about himself personally and criminally that nobody knew. And after he told me, I was like, oh, why didn't you tell me these things? Not like he's a secret serial killer, but let's just say crimes that he didn't get caught for. And I'm like, I wonder if there's a reward out for you. I could turn you in right now. But it did, actually, in a twisted way, it kind of made me feel a little more secure because he's telling me things that he should not be because he can get in trouble. Um, the other thing is that he introduced me to his family. And I actually got to stay with his family when I would fly to Fort Lauderdale. So that was a huge step for me. That made me feel like, okay, I don't think he's pulling a fast one on me. But let's face it. I mean, I have heard stories of people getting out of prison and totally ghosting the person who's been standing by their side for years and supporting them monetarily and emotionally. And they're just like, wait, I'm standing at the gate waiting for you to come out and you're not here because they left with somebody else. It can happen. You know, I run a prison support group called Doing the Time with Tia Torres. Um, and I see stories in there. I belong to other prison groups where same thing, where a woman's been like standing by her man and then years later he gets out and spends one day with her and then he's gone with his girlfriend that he's had on the side the whole time. Here's the thing. It can happen out here too. I'm going to keep saying that. It's not just an inmate thing. It can happen out here in the free world. And it hurts. But there's really no way to predict. You know, um, what I would recommend is if you are in a relationship with someone who's in prison, um, there are prison support groups. I know most of them are for women, but go in there, ask for advice. I've been doing this. I've been around the prison system for, oh my God, 30 some years. So when I have the women in my group post stories, I'm pretty good at going, yeah, you're being played, like run. So, the heartbreak scam is a tough one. It's a sad one. But there are people out there that can kind of help you along and try to give you some clarity. Okay, well, That's all I'm going to talk about as far as the scam of the heart, I guess we'll call it. But I got lots more stories coming. If you want to join me on my platform where we talk about everything prison, I do have a paid platform, very small fee per month. All the money goes to my nonprofit that works with inmates and people on parole, all surrounding my world of dogs that I love so much. And you can find that on Patreon. And when you go in the search bar, just put in Convicts Anonymous, and we're right there. Okay, so got more coming up, and thanks for hanging in there. And on to the next topic.